It is a multi-billion-dollar project that will change the face of Nashville forever. Good Monday evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rory Johnston.
And I'm Carrie Sharp. We are talking about the East Bank, where the Titans are currently building their new stadium.
That's right, but transforming the entire area may be a little more difficult than you'd think. News Channel 5 investigative reporter Ben Hall is keeping an eye on the East Bank and discovered why a busy bridge may have to be dismantled before the project gets off the ground.
This 500 acres has very little infrastructure. You hear officials say that word a lot when it comes to the East Bank. So we looked at what they're talking about. They're a glimpse into the future. East Bank developer the Fallon Company envisions a walkway from downtown into East Nashville with places for sitting and dining called the Music City Mile. It leads to a grand stairway at the end of the pedestrian bridge called the Cumberland Bluffs, the most memorable space on the East Bank. But all that is very different from what's there now.
This has been a wasteland for downtown. That, you know, this was cheap, free parking, so that, like, we could bus you to somewhere that you actually wanted to be.
Clint Camp is a lifelong East Tennessee resident and civil engineer, aware that job one on the East Bank is infrastructure.
This is mostly a blank slate as it relates to public utility infrastructure. A lot of these existing parcels, they've been here for quite some time, and they're not served by any significant utilities whatsoever.
As he looks over a lot that used to be a truck stop, he points out that water, sewer, and utility lines must be installed.
Do we need a 12-inch line? Do we need a 15-inch water line that we're going to put in the ground?
And there's always questions of what is buried there now.
What is the urban field that was collected and dumped here for 100 years before we paved over this place? What was put into here? Was this trash that was dumped here before?
The main job over the next several years is infrastructure.
Chief Development Officer Bob Mendez puts the infrastructure price tag at hundreds of millions of dollars. A big example, lowering the James Robertson Parkway Bridge.
We need to work on getting James Robertson Parkway, which is 25 feet in the air, down to grade.
So bringing it down, you've got to come out and you've got to do all of your investigative, your due diligence work related to foundations and geotechnical design.
Camp, who as an engineer has worked on other metro projects, believes lowering the bridge is critical to the development.
Right now, this is a foreboding, kind of a dismissive place. You wouldn't want to be here after dark.
The elevated bridge is a barrier and would prevent the wide-open East Bank Boulevard seen in drawings.
Bringing it down to grade allows the connections, allows the activity, and allows the potential development to thrive.
Another huge concern for the entire project is flooding. What if there's another 2010 flood?
We're going to set the road levels on the East Bank above the 2010 flood level.
Metro has been working with the Army Corps of Engineers, studying future flood threats on the East Bank.
What we saw in 2010 will happen again, and so it's important to be, from an infrastructure perspective, to have a resilient design.
Metro is passing much of the cost for infrastructure onto those using or developing the property. The Fallon Company is responsible for part of the infrastructure on the East Bank Boulevard. And TPAC must come up with tens of millions of dollars for infrastructure around its building, though TPAC has threatened to walk away. A lot has to happen before these pictures become reality. The grand stairway in this picture is where a parking lot is today.
At the end of the day, how does that space make you feel? Will help judge how well it's been designed and executed.
The mayor's office says it's too early to say when work will begin on the James Robertson Parkway Bridge, whether the bridge will be closed, or even how traffic will be impacted. The Fallon Company says it can begin work on its parcel near the bridge after it's lowered.
Ben, thank you. Now you can learn more about what Ben has uncovered already, from the construction timeline to affordable housing. It's all at newschannel5.com/investigates.